guys, I've had so many DMs from people now that I'm sharing that I'm eating more calories. And they're like, how do I know if I need to eat more? Or I've been stuck at this weight for so long. What do I do to get out of it? And how do I continue to see results? And so I wanted to go over three things that you should be looking at to see if you should be eating more calories. Now, I do want to make sure I mention most people are not eating enough, okay? When I have these conversations with women, they're like, oh, I eat about 1,200 calories or like 1,400 calories. Guys, that's how much my 2-year-old probably eats, right? Like if I went through and factored out everything he eats in a day, it's most likely 1,200 calories. 1,200 calories is a number that some random person came up with a long time ago to say, this is how we lose weight. When in reality, you guys, there is no one size fits all. Okay, you have to figure out the right number for you, and I guarantee it's more than 1,200 calories. So show me some hands up if you would like to lose weight, see the results that you wanted to see, feel good in your body, eating more than 1,200 calories. I know I wanted to, and that's why I started to dive into this topic, you guys, because I was like, you know what? There has to be a better way. I've been on my journey for, 16 plus years. I have had 2 children, and after each child, I lost the baby weight, but I was not getting that muscle tone that I wanted to see. And I was always chasing the last 5 to 10 pounds. I'd get close to that goal weight, and then for whatever reason, I would get stuck, or I'd be like, screw this, and go off and eat everything I wanted to and get even further away and then be frustrated. And I know so many of you struggle with this too. So I want to ask you this checklist. And if you can go through and answer these and say, yep, it sounds like I need this, feel free to reach out to me and I can give you some suggestions on where to start. So the first one is that you've been restricting your calories for longer than 3 months below your BMR. So BMR stands for basal metabolic rate, okay? And your basal metabolic rate is how many calories you need to just survive, to have your brain functioning, okay? To be able to breathe, to be able to have all of your organs working properly, okay? To be able to have your heart rate, your heart basically function the way it needs to. And so if you didn't get out of bed, okay, and I wish that was the case sometimes, right? Like, let me just lay in bed all day. But say you had a day where you're in bed all day and you don't get up to just move around the house, that's what your basal metabolic rate is, okay? And most people, you will be surprised when you calculate that. And if you just go to Google, okay, you go to Google, you insert all of your information, it'll go through and ask you, it will come up with what your basal metabolic rate is, okay? Now, if you're someone who works out, there are calculators that help you factor that in too, okay? So go check that out. You're gonna be floored. You're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I can eat that many calories? Like for me, I believe mine was like 1492. And I was like, dang, like that's a lot. So if I don't get out of bed, I don't work out, I don't run around with my children, I don't go about my normal day, I'm burning almost 1,500 calories. That's insane, okay? So number one, you've been eating less than your basal metabolic rate for longer than 3 months in a row. Now what happens when we do that is, guess what happens? Your metabolism drops, right? Therefore, your body's like, oh, you're only going to give me this amount of calories? I guess we're just going to live off this amount of calories, right? Number 2, you've been chasing those last 5 to 10 pounds for over 3 months, okay? So you're like me, where I'm like, okay, I'll get there, and then I like fall away, or I get there, and then I fall away, or you're just stuck in a plateau for longer than 3 months, okay? So that's number 2 on that checklist. Number 3, write these down and ask yourself this, okay? You have symptoms, like physical symptoms of needing more food, okay? Number 1 is that you are waking up in the morning starving, okay? I mean like hangry, okay? And the same goes at the end of the day, where, maybe nighttime snacking happens because you're like, I am so hungry. You're not giving your body enough food throughout the day. So that's the first one, okay? Number 2 is that you're fatigued. I've had conversations with women that they're like, I just don't have enough energy. I don't have enough energy to keep up with my children. I've been there, okay? And that is the worst feeling ever, where you're like, I just want to run around with you, but I'm so tired, right? that's a symptom, you guys, that you're not eating enough. So many of us just like take that as like, this is my life, I'm just gonna be tired. You don't have to. You don't have to. That's a physical sign that your body needs more, either more sleep or more food, okay? So fatigue, you're crabby, okay? Have you ever caught yourself just being like, why am I so crabby? Like, why am I so irritable today? I have no reason to be irritable, but I'm irritable. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. That's another sign, okay? Number 4, you're sleeping poorly, okay? So you catch yourself like waking up throughout the night and you're like, I can't fall back to sleep, or you wake up hungry, or your sleep is just crappy, okay? You can never get really in that deep sleep. The next one, you guys, is that you are working out, right? But you're so sore, you can't recover, okay? So that's the next one. The next one, you guys, is you've been stuck in a plateau. So I know I've mentioned that a couple times, but you've been stuck in a plateau. You're not seeing the results you want. You've been like tracking everything that you're eating. You're working out and you're like, what am I supposed to do? I've been there too. That's like the most frustrating thing, right? You're like following everything by the book and you're like, nothing's changing, right? That's a sign you need to eat more food, okay? The last thing, you guys, is that you are hungry 30 minutes after you eat a meal. Okay, so you sit down and you eat lunch or you eat dinner, and then, 20, 30 minutes later, you're like, I'm hungry. I shouldn't be hungry. I just ate, right? Like, I'm still hungry. That's a sign you need some more food. Okay, so if you can go through that checklist and have at least 1 or 2 of those, guys, it's time to up those calories. Okay, so I encourage you to go to Google, type in basal metabolic rate calculator, see where your number is, okay? And if you have been eating lower than that, okay, lower than that for longer than 3 months, I encourage you to increase those calories. If you need help with this, feel free to reach out to me. I have my Reverse the Diet Trend group starting in a week, so on Monday, where I'm walking women through this journey. But if you're independent and you're like, yep, I can just stick to it and figure it out, go for it, okay? Because I want to be able to help you see you can eat more calories, achieve the goals that you want to, enjoy your life, and not have these annoying symptoms. They don't have to be a part of your life. Got it? All right, guys, have a wonderful day. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out.